Good morning, everybody. A massive happy Tuesday to everybody. I'm just going to get this up on my phone and make sure I can see all of your lovely comments and messages coming through, because I have no doubt that we are going to have lots of viewers today, because we have the wonderful and very inspiring Susan with us this morning, and I'm absolutely thrilled to have her here. She's a truly wonderful and inspiring lady. With roots in our industry since she left school, her multi-award winning salon is the largest in the north of England and has been going for over 25 years. It's insane. A leading industry speaker, author, and member of numerous beauty industry steering groups and judging panels. She's also been recently appointed to the board of Babtac, which is very exciting. Congratulations. Susan has an online business turnaround program called the Salon Success Freedom, and is the creator of the Beauty Directors Club, an ever-growing global membership and close community for salon, clinic, and spa business owners with resources and multi-expert advice. She is the author of The Little Book of Client Retention and bestseller co-author of Your Best Life. And most recently, she released the #1 bestseller, Beauty and the Best, alongside 21 other industry experts. And you will have a chance to win a copy of the book today. Massive welcome, Susan. Hello and welcome to My Timely Live this morning.
Thank you. It's lovely to be here and to be chatting to you, because we've sort of passed each other massively over the years, haven't we?
Absolutely. Our paths have sort of digitally crossed, and we've been sort of in the same vicinity at various different events and things, and we've never actually had the chance to meet. And we have a plethora of mutual acquaintances and friends, and we've never actually had the chance to properly get to know each other until this week, which is wonderful. So very excited to have you here today. Lots of guys already with us saying good morning and hello. So yeah, this is going to be fabulous. We're very excited to get Susan on this morning. So when Timely said, oh, we're going to bring Susan along for one of the lives, I was thrilled, because she just has such an abundance of knowledge and experience, and I know that she's going to have some wonderful things to share with us all today. Now, there are a few things that we specifically wanted to have a chat about this morning that we think is very relevant for industry at the moment, but please, I've got the comments open on my phone, so please just pop a question if you have one in the comments box, and I can put that to Susan. Susan's normally the interviewer, so today the tables are turning a little bit, and I'm going to be asking her the questions, and you guys can too. So without further ado, let's get started. Now, Susan, the first thing I wanted to talk to you about this morning was staying focused, because I know a lot of the industry at the moment, we've got a lot of people who are overwhelmed with homeschooling, not quite sure sort of what they can be doing to stay focused mentally. And we want to talk about how people can stay sort of with their eye on that target of reopening. What would you say people can do to stay focused at the moment? What would be your top tips?
Yeah, well, I think obviously now we're in our third lockdown. It's been, I think the first lockdown was very much where it was like overwhelmed for a lot of people. There was so much out there, and it was like, I think a lot of people just went into a meltdown of like the amount of information, and thinking that they had to do all this training, because obviously we thought that was the only time we were going to have as well.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. You look back now and think, why did we think this? I'm just getting the video up because it's not showing on my phone for some reason, so I just want to make sure I can see everybody's comments. So sorry, please keep going.
I think from there, the second lockdown was very much more about self-care and just sort of having a breather and regrouping what you've learned and everything, and then going back again. This one now, I think, this hopefully, fingers crossed, will be the last one we have. So I think this is the one where you really need to focus on changes and things to your business, so the way I stay focused, and one piece of advice I'd say is, now is the time to have a look at what you love doing in your business, because you know, it's been an unprecedented time, but I think as well it's made a lot of people realize that there is more to life than just your business. So to me, your business should be fun and it should be something that you absolutely love. So to me, you know, it doesn't cost a lot to get people to do things that you don't enjoy doing, and you end up wasting so much time trying to do things that you don't love doing. So one thing is look at what you love doing. Next thing, invest as well in yourself. You know, this time, I think there's a lot of people who have really started to take some daily time out for themselves. And that is just so essential. And I know you guys do the same, you know, whether it's go for a walk, whether it's meditate, just to have some clear head time, because, you know, otherwise you just end up on this hamster wheel of trying to do everything. And even if it's only 10-15 minutes, it makes such a difference. And that's when all the ideas start to come to you. So as well, you know, it's time to invest in like looking at what new things you want to bring in and sort of, you know, invest in your learning as well. So it's investing from all over kind of thing. But then on top of that, it's, to me, it's getting really, really laser focused on what you want. I do a lot of journaling. I think once you start writing it down, and I sit with big pieces of paper, mapping out what I want. Everyone has different ways, you know, getting images of what you want, but always stay very focused on the future, not on what's happened in the past. Because if you're just dwelling on what's happened in the past and you know, where you are now, it just keeps you stuck there. So, and it's just wasted energy, really. Worry, it's just doesn't help anything whatsoever, or doubt. So just stay focused on where you want to go, and you'll get there a lot faster. Last one I would say is expect things to happen as well, good things to happen. You know, again, as I say, if you constantly doubting yourself and your abilities, and it is hard when there's so much going on, you know, but you've come this far and it's only the next step that you need to get to. And you know, I always like think everything happens for a reason, and you know, this is a time where, you know, nothing's, well, you know, obviously there's a lot going on, but you know, people are like, oh, this has gone wrong and that's gone wrong, and I always like say there's nothing gone wrong. It's just you take feedback from it, and then like you might have to pivot in your business or do something different. But yeah, just expect that it's going to all go right.
Yeah,
so that's
absolutely. Love those. And I totally 100% agree with you on all of that, particularly with the, you know, the looking back. I read this interesting quote the other day that said the only reason we should ever look back is to see how far we've come. And it is just so true. And it's great to go back and reflect and look at all the good things and think, yes, we've managed to achieve this and this is great, but really our focus should be forward. And I came up with this saying, I don't know if I heard it, but I once said to Ryan, if you keep looking backwards, you'll walk into a lamppost. And it's so very true. You need to see what's ahead of you so you can navigate and you can dodge yourself into those positions. If you spend too much time looking behind you, you'll never see those obstacles in the way. So yeah, couldn't agree with you more. What would you say would be beneficial for people to keep their business as healthy as possible as it can be at the moment? Because of course we can't physically open the doors, but there's lots of things that we can do. So what could people be working on at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, staying in touch with your clients, obviously, that is one thing. But what I thought is, because I like the business formula that I use, what I tend to do is look at all different areas. So I just thought, if I explain how I look at a business in my weird and wacky way, then anyone listening can sort of like think, yes, I need to like look at that area or that area. Because what happened was, I used to go on, well, I still do loads and loads of business courses, and I did a one which was the most expensive thing I've ever done, but the best thing. And it was working for a year with probably the world's best mergers and acquisitions and business turnaround guy. And we used to, it was all about getting into the right mindset, and it really made you realize what people achieve in business. So we'd like go for meetings in Spain on like a private jet things, and it was fantastic. But all of the things that I learned, I was thinking, oh, I can do that, I can do that. So I ended up trademarking the formula that I came out of with it all, because obviously when a business is in problem, has in a pickle, then it needs something quick to sort it out.
Yeah.
And so the way I look at a business is, I always like say, just imagine that it's like a tabletop, and you've got your 4 quadrants. So you've got your cash, your clients, your assets, and your team, and you in the middle, trying to keep it all in balance. And it's and the legs underneath are obviously quite often quite shaky. And if you imagine it's got money all the way over the top, there's just money running out of it all over. So quite often it'll be that someone's got too many staff, and there's money running out. Or it can be that, you know, they've bought a new piece of equipment and they haven't marketed to the clients, so it's sitting there gathering dust. Again, there's money running out. It can even be that, you know, there's too much cash sitting in the bank. They haven't invested in that team, or, you know, in education or in new equipment. So again, although there's money in the bank, there's money running out of the business all over the place. So the legs underneath, I trademarked like a formula called stable. So in each area, it's like putting systems in place in each area. That's the S. And then looking at the trust around all of the areas as well. So, you know, like it's more ways that your clients, you could build trust with your clients, with your team, you know, even around your money systems, everything like that. That's T, A, yeah, A. Adaptable, you know, that's where I think a lot of people have sort of missed out, because that business wasn't adaptable. It was like a business model, and this like happened, and it's been panic stations. Whereas if you have it set up so that it's adaptable, and have like a plan B and C in all of the areas, so that like if a crucial member of your team leaves, you're not in dire straits kind of thing. You've already got a plan in place. So then B is branding. So look at all of the elements of your business and make sure that it all sits perfectly together. Links is looking at sort of, you can't really run a business on your own. So, you know, the links you've got with your accountant, your bank, you know, are you linked with the local colleges for bringing in new staff, all of those different things. And then putting education around it all, because a lot of the time it stays in your head, and it needs to either be on a piece of paper or on a video or something, so that everybody knows what's happening. And then what I tend to find is, once somebody's done that with all of their business, then they can sell it, jump out of it, do whatever they want, because it's solid on the top. But so I'd say just look at the areas where you think your business is out of balance, and start and put it all, and get your legs solid.
Brilliant. Yeah, I really like that analogy, and I've never heard that before, and it's really good, because you can visualize, you know, everything going off kilter, can't you, and how you want that stability in your business, and how you want that strength, so nothing's going to tip off the side. Yeah, that's brilliant. And I couldn't agree with you more about the different elements that you need to put into place. And I think we are so quick to sort of say, oh, it's just about getting people in for treatments, and then that's it. You know, and there is just so much more to our industry, isn't there, and what we do. And it's a very heart and emotional driven industry, but it still has to work on numbers. We have to get our pricing right. And these are all the sorts of things that we could be looking at the moment, so that when we reopen, and I'm on the same path as you in that I believe this will be the last lockdown. Way we reopen in 3, 4, 5 weeks, however long it is how we're going to then be moving forward, because there's not going to be time to come back and reassess. And we have this opportunity right now, don't we, to just go, let's look at everything. Let's see what's off balance. Let's see what's not working, what's not worked in the past, and how can we realign ourselves. Because you still have your salon at the moment, don't you?
Yeah. So I've had it 32 years now.
32 years, right. Well, I read it was 25, so that's increased a lot. That's fabulous. Tell us a bit about your salon and what that's all about, and the story behind that.
Well, I started, it was just me. Well, when I started, it was actually the second business that I had. The first one ended up being more hairdressing, which wasn't what, but in those days, you had to train in hair and beauty. And I was a little bit ahead of my time because like beauty hadn't really caught on in like my small town. So yeah, when I set finishing touch off, it was really just me freelancing again, and I used to teach one day in a private college as well, because I thought, well, if it doesn't work, I've still got some income coming in. And I got some government funds. I got £3,000 from Shell Oil, which then seemed like a fortune, but the banks wouldn't loan me anything whatsoever, because as well I'd worked at Ragdale Hall during my college summer and just saw all of these great products and treatments and equipment, and I just thought, I want that. And I think the bank manager just thought I was crazy because, you know, and so I ended up having to lease everything, doing it like an expensive way. But then I just, within months, I'd had to employ a couple of people, and then we just grew. We outgrew that small salon, and then purchased where we are now. And I couldn't afford the whole building, so the boyfriend at the time, I persuaded him to buy the downstairs so that I could just have the upstairs. And then I ended up buying
That's
that.
negotiation skills for you, then, Susan.
And then we expanded over the next building. So we just gradually grown. So originally we were very much a beauty salon. At one point we had, you know, 5 nail stations on the go. Now, you know, we don't really do, we still do the odd set of nails, but not really. We're more of like advanced skincare aesthetic. And I also have like a medical aesthetic company as well, so which marries in quite nicely. So yeah, you know, it's so we have 10 treatment rooms, fantastic team, absolutely amazing team. We The first time we lost someone to another salon, we didn't lose anyone to another salon for 25 years. They all go and do, some of them in Australia, they all, in fact, one of the girls left to go and do chiropody, and then she's now a podiatrist, she's back again. So it's lovely. And you know, all the girls who have worked in the past, it's all like a big family, everyone stays in touch and things. It's really nice, it's lovely.
What do you think is the key at the moment to help keeping engaged with your staff? Because I know a lot of people are struggling with this through lockdown. They're maybe feeling their staffs aren't communicating with them. They're not very responsive, and they're trying to keep them in that sort of family feel. But it's difficult too, because they're in their own homes and their own environments, and maybe they're experiencing sort of different influences. How do you stay in communication with your team and keep them excited and ready to reopen and engaged with what you're doing?
Yeah, I think it's getting the right balance. You know, I was talking to someone the other day, and she's like, I'm going to have 3 meetings a week. I was like, that might be a little bit much, you know, because although we think our team loves spending time with us, it's not that favourite thing all the time. What we're doing is we're actually, the girls, like on a Wednesday, we having a day where one of the girls goes in and rings clients and just generally keeps in touch with all the clients. But as well, you know, we have Zoom catch-ups and things, and the girls are very much in contact with each other. But as well, you know, my girls are really, really active in wanting to do extra training and things. But I think it's, you know, it's getting that right balance of understanding that, you know, like there's a lot of things going on in a lot of people's lives at the moment, kind of thing. And I know it can get a little bit resentful when salon owners are like working flat out and they think that the team are at home just swanning around and things. But yeah, it's, you know, I think it's keeping that line of communication open, having regular meetings, making it a little bit fun as well, you know, do some quizzes or different things, and so that it's not just a case of like, oh, gotta get on this meeting kind of.
Well, exactly,
yeah, it's just trying to keep it fun, I think, as well.
Yeah, I heard a great idea. Somebody said they sent pizza out to all of their team. and they all had like a pizza meeting, because that's what they'd normally do if they had their business operational. They'd have like a pizza prosecco night. So she got everybody like to have their pizza delivered, and they all sat and just had a catch up. And I have heard a lot of people from our community saying, oh, you know, they're not getting back to me, or they're not really responsive when I want to put something on, and they get very upset about it. But I think it's really important to remember that your team are also going through this journey on their own as well at the moment, and they might be in a home where they're living at home with their parents. Maybe their parents are particularly concerned and scared at the moment. Maybe they're feeling very overwhelmed by everything. People are, you know, getting very anxious and worried about things. So, you know, it's often not at all personal, is it? It's just that they're on their own little journey, and they're just trying to get through their time at the moment, so we can all come out the other side. What do you predict, Susan? When do you think that we'll be back open again? I know you can't make any set judgment, but what do you think?
In my free group in Video Entrepreneurs Hub, we've got an actual lockdown lottery going. Because everyone always says, oh, you're really good at predicting now. That, no, I'm not going to predict this time. So we've got this lockdown lottery going where there's going to be a prize at the end. So everyone's guessing anywhere from, there's someone who's guessing beginning of March, which I don't think that's going to be. The latest is, I think someone guessed July. You just don't know, do you? I'd love to think it was sooner rather than later, but I just don't think they can risk anything this time. You know, there's just no way that like the economy can go through another lockdown if they don't get it right this time. So, you know, so I think it's like, how long's a piece of string at the moment?
Well, I know. The problem is you're so scared to say anything, because you might get a message in a few months going, Susan, you said on the time link with Hollie that we were going to reopen on the 1st of May, and I'm not happy with you, and I've got the recording, and I'm going to report you. So, but yeah, it is one of those things, isn't it? It's very, very open-ended. But if we can budget out to make sure that that means that when we reopen for good, then it's worth another week or two or month or so, isn't it? Because it will mean that then we can just keep flying forward. Plus, it gives us a little bit extra time to get all the magic in place, so that when we can reopen in the strongest position possible. What would you say is the #1 tip that somebody can do to make sure that when those doors reopen, they do it in the healthiest, strongest possible way?
I think, as I say, you've got to look after yourself. Make sure that you have, you know, as I say, this is the time to look at your business, and this, you know, I think everyone thought, oh, this first time round we're going to like make changes to our business. Some made great changes, some that haven't worked out. I think it's refining everything so that when you reopen, that like all the things that we've talked about, you know, making sure you're staying in touch with your clients, making sure you're staying in touch with your team, you know, updating everyone all of the time. Yeah, you know, and it's and keeping your standards as high as we can, because I think that's going to be a big thing. It's client confidence coming back, because, you know, hopefully now that we're like independent as well, and we're not classed in with, you know, with everything else, that hopefully, you know, we'll possibly, because of the amount of PPE we wear, it would be lovely to think that we went back sooner, but you just, you know, you just don't know. So I think you just have to, you know, there's that sea of salons out there. You just have to be the one that's like standing out on the top of that wave, that's like, you know, so clients see that you are the expert in what you do, and really fly that flag kind of thing. So that absolutely, sadly, there are going to be a lot of salons that don't survive this. And so yeah, it's just using this time to be as prepared as you can.
I think they said 10% have already closed, haven't they, from what's gone on in the last year?
£4,000, 4,000 salons. But on the other side, there are a lot of people who are like now starting their own business and things. So, you know, there's two sides to it. There will be, and I think it has given some people the excuse to get out the industry, where they were like probably were thinking, oh, you know, is it for me anymore? And I think it's given people that get out. Where as well, there's a lot of new people coming into business as well. So, and there's a lot of great grants and things around, you know, so.
Yeah, and there's lots of the big suppliers are trying to do things to help. I mean, timely, particularly that's one. Guys, get on board for free. We'll get you on. We'll get you set up. So when you open, you've got a booking system in place. You know, these are some of the incentives that these fabulous companies are putting in place, and you know that needs to be celebrated, because that's all going to help the industry. And everything is cyclical. You know, as we go down, we'll come back up. Some people will fly, some people will thrive from this. Some people will use this as an opportunity to really move their business forward. And I'm sure you saw plenty of that happening last year. We saw it happening last year, and it will continue to happen this year. People will reopen stronger, actually, and better than they've ever been. And of course, you know, you look at marketing, and I know you focus a lot around marketing as well. And, you know, we can't just react. We can't just sort of suddenly just go, oh, we're going to reopen tomorrow. Let's hope some people book into our diary. We need to be prepared. You know, we need to have everything in motion. We've got to work 6 weeks out at least all the time to just be preparing. And if you just stop everything at this time, if you stop communicating, if you stop putting your message out there, then people just think you've stopped your business. And you've got to use this time to just pick the phone up, chat to people, tell them what you're up to, keep in touch with them, and be a positive light in a difficult time, because a lot of people's clients are struggling right now, and you can be that little bright beacon. And when your doors reopen, they'll be there ready, because they've carried that connection on with you through this lockdown.
Yeah, that's what we put out to our clients, really, that, you know, one of the girls is going to be in, and, you know, you can ring for your products or all that kind of thing. But even if you just want to chat, you know, and there's been clients who do just want to have a chat, you know, and and they are so thankful, because, you know, someone who's homeschooled and the husbands don't always understand, you know, and or there's the clients who are just isolated at home as well. So we're as well actively like ringing clients that we know might be vulnerable. Yeah, you know, it's not just about making the money kind of thing. I always like think what you give, you get, you know, and I think it's time as well to be given.
Yeah, absolutely. And what do you predict when we do reopen, Susan? What do you predict is going to change in the industry? Do you think any new trends are going to come in? Do you think the way we do things are going to change, other than the, you know, the safety side of it and the PPE? What about in the way of what we start offering to our clients? Do you think that's going to diversify now?
Well, I think it's changed already, because clients now are far more open to social media. They're far more open to Zooms, far more open to watching videos and things. So I think that is something that's going to stay. And it was funny, because when I was just like thinking about what we're going to chat about, you know, because obviously I know you know JP, but a funny story is, like, I think it must be 12 years ago now, 10, 12 years ago, it was JP's first webinar. So we decided that we would do it to like my clients at the salon. So so we got everybody like all excited about this webinar that was going to be on, and you know, everyone was like, yeah, we'll be there. Well, of course, when we went on, I think there was 7 people. Thinking, what? And then when I asked people, you know, they were like, well, we thought he was going to be able to see us and make us do exercise and things. So that was like so alien that someone would actually think somebody could, you know, and look at what we're doing now.
Yeah, I know.
That's not that long ago, really, when you look at it.
No, although I wouldn't be at all surprised, because I went to one of JP's seminars in London once, where we first met him, and he made everybody in there do like a HIIT session in the middle of the day, and there's people in suits and skirts and all sorts jumping around, and he was like, come on, get on with it. Typical JP, but it works. It brings the energy to the room, doesn't it? He knows his stuff. He knows his onions,
I think
definitely.
back then there was, most of the computers didn't really have a camera on anyway, so it's just, so yeah, so I think with the things like online, I don't think that's going to go. I think clients, and it's a great way to, you know, clients don't necessarily have to be in. You can just do like a, you know, a Zoom follow up with clients, and I think that is, and you know, online challenges and things, I think that is all gonna stay, and yeah, and go a bit further. So
yeah, people have definitely pivoted more on bringing their skill set online, haven't they? So I think it's going to just continue, and it's just going to enhance what we offer, because people are going to be more interested in the education that we share as an industry, and how we can actually all work together long term to get the results that we want.
I think, you know, is it, I went to a seminar a few years ago, and then I wrote an article after it, and it was all about robots and how it was going to take out all of these and sort of online systems and things, how it was going to take out so many jobs. And obviously that has happened over the years. But, you know, I always like think, you know, you're never going to be able to get an online massage, are you? You're never going to be able to. So, but then in the article, I was like, you know, the thing is, because robots now are doing open heart surgery, it wouldn't be that hard for them to do a set of nails or to do like some eyelashes. But thankfully, it's like would be far too expensive at the moment. But you know, you never know in the future, do you? But I think our industries, we're lucky that we have a service where people need to come to us as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we will always have that connection that a robot can never give, that personal connection, which will never be replicated, even if they can do the best balayage in the world or the best massage in the world. But when you're having open heart surgery, I guess you're asleep, so you don't want that conversation anyway. So wonderful speaking to you today. Before we go, excitingly for the audience, you are very, very kindly donating some of your wonderful brand new best-selling books, Beauty and the Best, where you're featured alongside 21 other industry experts, and you're putting these out for the audience to win today. And if you want to win a copy of this book, then all you need to do is to go to the Timely Instagram page. There's a post on there all about it, and you just need to post underneath who or what inspires you. It can be anything that inspires you, anyone that inspires you. Pop that under the comments on the tile, and they'll be choosing, I think, 4 winners. Is that right, Susan? Have we got 4 copies to give away? I'm going to be entering as well because I want a copy of the book because it looks fabulous. And massive congratulations for the huge results you've had with that. I know you only released it 2 weeks ago, and you've gone straight in at #1. And I actually know some of the other people in the book as well, and it's just packed with industry leaders, fascinating stories, people who know their stuff in our industry as well. So if you're not one of the lucky winners, make sure you get on and buy a copy, because I think it'll be a wonderful, wonderful read. So Susan, thank you so much for joining us today. I've thoroughly enjoyed our time together. It's been wonderful chatting to you. I'll be back again next week to share another wonderful industry expert. Until then, guys, have a wonderful Tuesday, and we'll very much look forward to bringing you another Timely Live next week. So wonderful, wonderful week, everybody. Enjoy your Tuesday, and we'll see you all again soon. Bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you.